Welcome to PolkaWorld Interview. This is Kristen. We are going to talk about interoperability in this episode. In 1969, the Advanced Research Project Agency established ARPANET, which realized the interconnection of 4 large computers located at UCLA, Stanford, and so on. This was the forerunner of the Internet. The first public chain Ethereum, its initial vision was to build a world computer. In decades that followed, there are thousands of computers in the world than just one. That's why we need interoperability to widely and effectively connect blockchains. Dante Network is the middleware of Web3 for collaboration among multiple ecosystems, including Polkadot. Without further ado, let's welcome the guest of today, Jason, the founder of Dante Network.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Kristen. Glad to see you. Happy New Year. As you know, I'm Jason, the founder of Dante Network. And to myself, perhaps I can call myself the Web3 OG. Yeah, I first saw the Bitcoin white paper in the 2011, but it's a pity that I don't think it was a great invention at that time. Just an integration of proven technology such as P2P communication, asymmetric encryption, I think, at that time. But it turned out that it's my fault. I ignored it, and then I worked for a military research institution for years. Maybe it's a destiny, as we all know that the core technology of blockchain is all from the military research. Yes, as I mentioned before, the P2P and the asymmetric encryption. So I really come back into Web3 later. In Web3, I had engaged in the POW mining, the staking and node space, the incubation of decentralized projects. And now I started my own project, that is Dante Network. Dante Network is an infrastructure for multi-chain interoperability, which is designed to help the many ecosystems of Web3 to collaborate with each other. So Dante Network will enable Web3 applications with omniverse interoperability, making it easier to share and utilize the capability and resources from different blockchains in Web3, then to provide better application experiences. To some extent, I think I can describe Dante Network as the first permissionless, trustless, omnichain interoperability solution. As a multi-chain ecosystem infrastructure, Dante Network has been recognized and supported by several top chains, such as we know Polkadot. Yes, we are the champion of the 2022 Polkadot Summer Hackathon, and also we received the Web3 Foundation grants, and the milestone is achieved now. In addition, we have also received awards from the Avalanche and Near Hackathon, and received the grants from Flow and Near. So that's myself. That's the information about myself and the Dante Network.
Yeah, amazing. And firstly, let's back to a very basic question. That is, what is interoperability? Because interoperability is not a new word. It happens in the traditional internet. So what's your perspective? That is, what is interoperability in the traditional internet and the Web3? So is there any difference or?
So let's start it from the dictionary. Yeah, in the dictionary, we know that interoperability is described as the ability to exchange and use information. So in my words, to be simple, if we say that the interoperability between A and B, we mean that resource and capability of A can be shared and utilized by B easily, conveniently, vice versa. In Web2, we say the internet, or we say describe it Web2. The interoperability is easy to achieve. It just needs the mutual authorization of A and B. But in Web3, there are some obstacles. As we all know that Web3 is built on the blockchain, and each chain is trustless and permissionless. That means we cannot get the authorization from a blockchain. As we all know, it's decentralized, trustless, and permissionless, as I described before. So who can represent it to give the authorization? No one. So the data on blockchain, also the data on blockchain is openness and transparency. Yeah, any one of us can explore the information easily. But the question is, how can we be sure that the information we get is true? For example, when we explore the information of a blockchain through the Explorer, like Subscan, yeah, the subtext is that we trust it. We trust Subscan. You trust the authorization of the Subscan, the Explorer, yeah. The information is provided by the Explorer, by Subscan, not directly from the chain. But have you think that it may go wrong or be hacked? There are cases in the past. So in general, I don't think there are differences in the interpretation of interoperability between Web 2 and Web 3, but there are huge differences in the implementation methods. How to solve the authorization problem of blockchain is a key point of achieving interoperability in Web 3. So that's all, yeah.
There are already some interoperability solutions in the market. Layer 0 is the one that we have to mention because it's too famous. So compared to Layer 0, could you highlight 3 unique features of Dante? And yeah, and also we can mention what's your favorite interoperability protocol in the market and why?
Okay. Sure, yeah. Let me first give the unique features of our solution. Then I will explain them in detail. So the most important feature, 3 features of our solution is that permissionless, trustless, and with excellent scenario adaptability. So I will explain that in detail. Yeah, as I mentioned before in the previous question, the key point of achieving interoperability in Web3 is to solve the authorization problem. So the most popular solution is witness mechanism. Not only Layer 0, almost all the cross-chain projects have adopted this solution. In brief, witness mechanism means we use a third-party authority to guarantee the information. The third-party authority may be SIX, yeah, the exchange, or relay chain, or MPC nodes, and so on. In the case of Layer 0, the third-party authority is a Chainlink, yeah, a third-party oracle. If the third-party authority granted this information is from chain A, and it's true, then the chain B will trust this information. The usual guarantee method is the user signature or multi-signature. But it also has the same problem of blockchain Explorer I mentioned in the previous question. That is, why should I believe the third-party entity? Yeah, why should I believe the oracle or MPC nodes or the exchange? It may go wrong, yeah. If it's wrong or be hacked, I even couldn't know that. So one of the most innovative point in our solution is to diminish the third-party authority. The main idea is anyone who meets the basic requirement can deliver information message from chain A to chain B. We call these ones the router nodes. And chain B will never trust any of them separately. Chain B will collect these pieces of information together and verifies them itself. We will provide the verification algorithm publicly. From our algorithm, for our algorithm, in the most extreme cases, as long as they are bits of honest ones, if there are bits of honest nodes, it will never make mistakes. So to sum up, the requirement for becoming a router node is very simple, public, and explicit, executed by codes, and don't need our approval. And we don't need any of the router nodes to guarantee the information. The chains will verify information themselves. So that's why I said that we are permissionless and trustless. As to the scenario adaptability, it's based on the SQS mechanism of our solution. SQS is the security quality of service. We know that different applications have different interoperability strategies. Some give priority to lower latency, some to higher security. It can be adjusted by the SQLS mechanism. So more details can be checked in our white paper. As the last question, which is my favorite interoperability protocol? Frankly speaking, it's Polkadot. It's not a flattery. Also, it named itself a relay chain. Sounds like the witness mechanism I said before. But if you look deeper into it, you will see that it's completely different from the usual relay chain method. It will take over the security of its parachain. That means it doesn't just connect two different consensus space of chain A and chain B. It turns the different consensus space into one as a whole. It's not an easy thing, but meaningful and awesome and innovative. So I hope that will be completely done soon in the future. Sure, that's all.
Ethereum is the most welcomed and active public chain in Web3. And that's why most of the top public chains are EVM compatible. So what's your perspective towards the interoperability among the EVM compatible chains and also the chains that are not EVM compatible?
Okay, yeah. As we know, EVM is the most popular virtual machine in Web3. Yeah, we all know that it's a fact. But in other words, it means that it's the simplest. So there is no difficulty for us to realize the interoperability among EVM compatible chains, such as we know the BNB, Avalanche, and Ethereum, or other chains. And we have already released the SDK of Solidity Edition for the EVM. Yeah, you can check it in our GitHub. But we all know that EVM is not all about Web3. We can see that there are diverse chains with specialized features or functions, which is not EVM chain. For example, the resource-oriented chains, like we know the Aptos Sway or Flow, yeah, which is better for NFT, and the massive storage chain like Filecoin or ARWave. And also there are WASM chain, which can deploy and support more sophisticated applications like NEAR or others. So to support interoperability for these chains is of great significance. And of course, it's more difficult. So, but in fact, we have been doing this all the time. Now, besides the EVM Solidity chain, our testnet has supported the resource-oriented chain like Flow, the WASM Rust chain like NEAR, and the Substrate Inc. In Polkadot ecosystem. All these programs can be checked in our GitHub. Yeah, maybe you can check it after this meeting. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. We call Dante Network's protocol stack Word Tree Protocol Stack, similar to the Internet Protocol Stack, which attempts to define a basic, common, and universal standard framework that we can help interconnect various public chain ecosystems in Web3 world. My question is what new types of applications or use cases become possible when Word Tree Protocol Stack is adopted?
Okay, I got it. Yeah, so we know that the mean of interoperability. The most, in my opinion, the most significant point of interoperability is that the resource and capability of different chains can be shared and utilized by each other directly and easily. So as I mentioned before, different chains have separate features and functions. Imagine that. If these features or functions can be integrated as a whole, what surprise it will bring to us. So let's take the NFT for example. We know that the ERC 721 is the most popular NFT standards, but frankly speaking, it's not the best form for NFT. The first problem is that the ownership of NFTs belong to the owner of the smart contract, not the current owner of this NFT. Besides, we know that nowadays NFT may need more attributes or functions, not just as a picture, the PFP profile picture. For instance, the NFT may represent a character of a game. So as a character, it's dynamic. It will evolve and change. and more, or it may have chemistry with others. If you want to realize this in the basis of ERC 721, it will be very complicated and cumbersome and prone to errors. On the other side, the resource-oriented chains will fit it well. I mean, like flow or sway. But these chains have their own drawbacks. That is lack of ecosystems. There's ecosystem including user and upstream and downstream applications. So if we change our mind, can we take the essence of each chain and discard the dross? Like that, we can launch the NFT on the resource-oriented chains like Flow or Sway, and store the huge data like the video or picture, etc., on the storage chain like Filecoin or Airwave, and interact with the users and other dApps in the EVM chains like BNB or Ethereum. It's very meaningful. So that's the first use case. And to the another use case, I think it's also very useful and meaningful. So in Web2, we usually call this load balancing. And in Web3, I think this use case is somewhat like the layer 2. That means if the TPS of some chain is saturated, it can outsource some of its work to the other chain. It just needs to verify whether the feedback result is correct or not. So that's the second use case. And all these use cases I mentioned is not imagination. This can be realized with the support of Dante Network. And we have provided the demos on our GitHub, both in forms of codes and video. Yeah, you can check them directly in our GitHub.
Yeah, amazing.
In the future, the use case will be adopted formally. Yeah.
And wonderful. The interoperability is not an easy job. It's very complex. It's very complicated, and I think to start a project is not very easy. So, is there any hurdles that you are facing? And
so yeah, as you said, there are many hurdles along the way. It's not an easy thing. It's very difficult. It's a systematic project. So yeah. We have met many hurdles involving technology issues, financial issues, and lack of ecosystem supporting at the beginning, lack of recognition of professionals at the beginning. It's a hard time, but fortunately we had overcome all of them. So they are no longer hurdles. We have experience. We know how to deal with that. Yeah, it's not hurdles, but the momentum for growth. But if I really want to say something is the hurdles, the real hurdles. I mean that maybe it's a bear market now we are undergoing. Yeah, especially with the most significant timing recently. Yeah, the collapse of FTX. It made many people to lose faith, not only the common users, but also the developers and the investors all around the world. I think it's the darkest time. It's the darkest hour of Web3. And it's not just for us, but almost all the practitioners. We will face many problems due to the bear market, like the cash flow risk and lack of attention and unfriendly policies, or some situations we never imagined. It's very hard. It's very hard. And the most important thing for us is to survive. We have nothing to do but to survive. We must do everything we need to do to survive, like downsize our team, reduce expenses, and turn everyone into an all-rounder. The list goes on, and we have no choice, but we have to do that. But no matter what happened, I always believe that if winter comes, can spring be far behind. So to all of us, hoping we can get through this difficult and embrace the next bull market. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, the bear market is very hard, and the good news is that the new year is coming. That means the spring is coming. So could you share some plans for the new year?
Yeah. Okay. So the first we have we have to say is that we have just reached the last milestone of the first Web3 Foundation grants. In this milestone, we published the SDK of Substrate Inc. edition and be integrated into the Planet. It's a meaningful achievement, but there are still many things to do this year, in 2023. As in the aspect of product, we will finish the SQS module and provide this API and improve some supporting mechanisms like staking for nodes. And then we will launch our testnet and optimize our code continuously with the feedback of the testnet. So that's the aspect of technology and product. And in the aspect of marketing, the most important thing for us is to build the suitable scenario for multi-chain dApps. I mean that although we know that the significance of multi-chain interoperability, it's very great. But and you know, PolkaWorld has come up this idea for many years, but it's still not be recognized by most of the people. The fact is that the interoperability sounds good. Yeah, it may sound good, but it seems that there's little impact without interoperability. So we can just rely on a concept. We need to build we need to build some actual scenarios. That scenarios can be experienced by user directly. No one will do this for you, and you need to do that yourself. So we will try to build some multi-chain applications and promote them to the users. This will help the users to experience the utility of multi-chain interoperability. And the feedback of users can also help us to improve our product. Now, considering it's a bear market now, so maybe it's a good time to do this. Yeah, that's our new year plan.
Okay, amazing. And thank you so much. I think that's all for our interview today. And we learned a lot of stuff about interoperability and the Dante Network. So I hope that our community loves your project and make everything a great success.